Anthony Joshua gets up every single day built on what he actually used branding for. He got directly out of the Olympics, connected with Eddie Hearn, sat down, did the paperwork to cement his business decision in cachet. But what he did after that is he started spilling his brand all over the United Kingdom, doing relationships and business ventures, showing up for different charitable events, building his personal brand. Now he has gyms outlined all over that country. He has gear. He has every form and formula that it takes to build a brand. Because see, a brand is the essence of who you are. It's the mission that you're on. And when you look at Tom Brady and you look at Anthony Joshua, they both have triumphant stories. Now, he could lose a fight, but he's gotten off the canvas before. So you already know this is just a major setback for a major comeback. That minor setback for that major comeback is all a part of the story. You don't go to a movie if you already know what's going to happen in the precipice of the movie. You don't know that somebody that you love is going to get kidnapped and totally tortured, which bothers you a lot, which keeps you enthralled in the movie. That's what the power of understanding how to build your brand in the fight game or in the world of entrepreneurship. It's so intoxicating when you know you got control. Now, here's an example when you don't have control over this story, because this is just a part of your story. I don't know what you've been trying to do to hold back this thing, but whatever it is that has put handcuffs on you to prevent you from doing this, shame on you, because this is where you are right now. You're in the storytelling era. You're in the podcast era. You're in a post-pandemic era. You're in the era where this new group of fighters are coming out of the YouTube world called the Misfits. They are here. And if you don't get your guys on board and you on board, that's who's going to be filling up these main cars. Because see, boxing is a business. And if you don't actually have the numbers, then you do not make the cut. I don't care how popular you thought you were. If someone has 6 million followers and you got one, we're going to roll the dice that that person has more impact. So look at your following now. Look at the support that you have now. This is not the 60s and 70s and 80s. There's this transparency that happens now that people can see exactly how popular you are. And it matters. So I'm going to show you how much it matters. Anthony Joshua, last fights. Okay. Let me bring it up to standard to you. Now, when we look at some of these matches, you see they are really regnant. They tell you the entire story. And this is what happens when someone's in your ear and they have your best interest. Let me see. When these guys right here, when Joshua went up against people like Wallen, this is a guaranteed purse, 7.3 million, right? This is against a guy who has absolutely no name, but his earning potential was $25 million, right? This is a guy who had just lost, right? I thought if you lose, you lose. Now, I know a couple of fighters that are fighting right now that are winning and not making nearly as much as this. But see, this is the power of personal branding. And this is where I'm going to show you guys all the 3 steps that it'll take to get yours on. So stay to the end. When he fought Francis Ngannou, he was guaranteed $20 million. But see, this number is going to trip you out, because when you're guaranteed 20, that means he made 45 million potential dollars. In 2 fights, he had the potential of upwards of $100 million. When you fight someone that doesn't have a personal brand, what that does is it knocks you down in numbers. So therefore, athletes and you trainers who got these athletes, and now I got our guys in the school of boxing encouraging their athletes to do your social media, because Anthony Joshua's not going to want to fight you. If you're going to pull his purse down from 45 million to 7 million. And so the guaranteed purse, which is his fair market share, fighting someone like Dubois. Dubois is not a big name anywhere else in the world. But when when Anthony Joshua fights Dubois, he's taking a cut. He's taking an actual impact cut, and he's expected to get no credit if he wins this fight. This is how the game goes. So you up and coming guys, why would a guy fight you and cut his purse that much? That's why you look for people who got big brands. That's why he fought Ngannou. Ngannou was 0-1 as a professional record. He was actually negative percentage as far as relevant. But what did he have? He had a following. He had presence. So personal brand matters. His story coming from Ghana, his story overcoming all of these things. That's why people pay. And that's why he was guaranteed this money when he fought Ngannou, is because Ngannou was built. Do you want a piece of this and understand how you can never lose? Because even after the fight that Anthony Joshua lost with Ruiz and then Usyk, he still had his brand. He didn't lose a dime. He come back to $10 million fights. That's the power of personal brand. If any of you are not clear and people are not explaining to you the power of what you say on the microphone, what you say in front of that camera lens doesn't matter. They're telling you that because they don't know how to help you do it. But this is the time that we take great liberty to show you guys what you need to do and why you need to do it, because these guys are on your ass. They're coming. These guys are not playing. When I'm talking about the misfits, we're talking about guys who already came into the game with the person who leads them, over 30 million people that follow them across social media, period, point blank. And that's continuous. I might be off 10 million. Who knows? But the fact is, he knows that those guys are going to learn how to do this the right way. All of that money being said, people who don't have a proper personal brand, but were big in the sport, but couldn't walk somewhere else and people know them. Let's look at Adrian Broner, right? Had made tens of millions of dollars, hand over fist, burning $100 bills in the toilet, flushing them down the toilet, burning them in his hand. And we all know that that's going to always come back to bite you, because people don't tell you all of the hooks that are in that money when you got it. When you're living a $10 million lifestyle, $20 million lifestyle, you got to live that lifestyle. When the big checks stop coming, you still have those kinds of bills due. Doesn't matter what you bought. They weren't assets. Yes. What I want you to remember is the jab, the jab, and angles, and stay defensively responsible. Because in the amateurs, the key is, as long as the punch doesn't hit you flush, it's not a score. So defensively responsible, knowing how to catch and parry, taking angles, and stay defensively responsible with those elbows down and pop, 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 pop. You know, the whole thing is it's a 1, 2, 3. You do these 3 things, and you'll have more success than somebody who's going out there trying to do a lot of stuff.
Hey, Shalom, how you doing? It's Coach AB with Tribe Tough Life Boxing in Stockton, California at the factory. I basically want to give a shout out to Coach Bradley and the Master School of Boxing program. The dynamic has been very phenomenal in helping me from the starting coach all the way to where I'm currently at right now, as far as getting more clientele and as far as helping my students and me as a current fighter in honing our craft as sweet science. The program, talking with Coach Bradley one-on-one, to him viewing some of my posts that I put up, and him giving expertise as far as guidance of where I can go with my program, and how I can be a better fighter and a better coach. It's been beneficial not only to myself as a fighter, but also been beneficial to my students in the various dynamics in which I teach. The hand-to-hand brand program with helping me with my branding, helping me from strength training and all that. So I just want to give a shout out to Coach Bradley again with Master Boxing and the Trainer of the Youth program.
And the thing too, the fact that I have, a few Muay Thai fights, they're probably not going to. They're probably gonna need me, to go in there with someone that have some experience.
It's okay. That happens to
Okay.
everybody.
All right.
Yeah, you like shit. You can have 3 fights, and next thing you know, you got to fight a dude who don't have 50 fights. If you want to fight if you fight in a tournament, nobody gives a shit.
Yeah,
Like
that's true.
you want to fight, you want to be a fighter, you're gonna fight. This is amateurs. You'll be all
Yeah.
right. Yeah, who
Yes.
cares? Yeah, but just learn. You don't, you win and stay humble. You lose and learn. That's what
Yeah.
amateurs is for. You want the smoke. You want to know where you are and how good the basics will serve you. And I'm gonna tell you, you'll compete with everybody in our system.
Yes.
Everybody you get in the ring with, no one will know who. If you will either win big, or no
Yes.
one will know who won when they go to the scorecards. That's one thing I can guarantee you in the School of Boxing, the
Yeah.
top trainer program. One thing will happen: you will either blow somebody away, or the
Yes.
fight will be so close nobody knows who won. That's because you are mastering boxing. That's why my company is called Master Boxing, because you're going to master boxing. Boxing is understanding not to get hit,
Yes.
but to hit,
Yes.
and understanding the variations that will. So when are you going to take the fight? When is your next? When are you going to fight? And what would you like for me to do? Because I'm doing a film study on Wednesday in the group. I'm going to do a film study and show you some things about fighting and winning that you need to understand conceptually.
I would like to join that.
All right, that'll be there. It'll be Wednesday
Yeah.
at 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 3 o'clock p.m. So
Yeah.
that's already going to happen. So
I'll
you can come
definitely join.
in. Yeah, the Winner Circle group, we get it popping, man. Calling all fight fans. Ever dreamed of shaping the future of boxing? Starting your own pro-am boxing program is easier than ever. Your ticket to the big leagues. Imagine hosting epic events, building a community, and creating a boxing mecca in your hometown. Discover and mold the next generation of champions. This is about leaving a legacy and changing lives. Whether you're a former fighter, a fan, or an entrepreneur, this is your chance to step into the ring of opportunity. Don't let this moment slip away. Make your mark on the boxing world and turn your town into a powerhouse of pugilistic talent. Bells ringing. Are you ready?